Chapter 1. The Mask We Call Me. The man stands before the mirror, haunted by the sense that he is both the actor and the audience of his own existence. Every gesture feels rehearsed, every smile a fragment of something deeper, unseen. He wonders when this performance began, when being became acting. Society told him to find his true self, but each attempt only multiplied the masks. Beneath them all, he feels something wordless, a presence observing, enduring. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good." Yet even within, he finds echoes of the world's expectations. He begins to realize, the self is not something one discovers, but something one builds through reason, restraint, and virtue. The performance fades not by rejection of the stage, but by acting truthfully upon it. Chapter 2. The Theatre of Expectation. In the quiet hours, he senses the stage upon which his life unfolds. Every word rehearsed, every movement measured for unseen eyes. The roles he performs, father, friend, worker, thinker, merge into a constant act of becoming what others expect. Marcus Aurelius cautioned, "It is not the things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Expectation is the silent playwright of the modern soul. The man realizes he has mistaken applause for peace, performance for purpose. The Stoic path asks him to withdraw from this theater, not by leaving it, but by standing still within it. When one ceases to act for approval, one begins to live for truth. Chapter 3. The Fractured Mirror. He sees himself in fragments, one self for work, one for family, one for solitude. Each claims to be authentic, yet none feels whole. The mind fractures under the strain of maintaining coherence amid contradictions. Marcus Aurelius teaches, "Be like the promontory against which the waves continually break, yet it stands firm." In a world of shifting mirrors, he must become the rock, not the reflection. He begins to observe his masks without judgment, seeing them as tools, not truths. With each act of honesty, the cracks begin to heal. Unity is not perfection. It is consistency with one's principles. Chapter 4. The Weight of Observation. He feels the invisible gaze of others even when alone. Every choice, every silence, shaped by the imagined eyes of the crowd. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This is the root of dissonance, the tyranny of perception. Freedom begins when the man understands that judgment cannot harm virtue. To act rightly is to act freely, regardless of applause or ridicule. The Stoic lives not to impress, but to improve. And in that quiet independence he begins to breathe again. Unobserved, unperformed, unbound. Chapter 5. Masks of Aspiration. Ambition wears noble disguises, success, virtue, enlightenment. Yet beneath them often hides a hunger for approval. The man's pursuit of excellence once promised fulfillment, but delivered anxiety. He realizes that aspiration, untethered from wisdom, becomes vanity dressed as virtue. Marcus Aurelius reminds him, "Be content with what you are, and wish not to change, nor dread your last day, nor long for it." Authenticity arises not from achievement, but from acceptance. When ambition serves principle rather than pride, every act becomes sincere. The mask falls not with failure, but with humility. Chapter 6. The Illusion of Spontaneity. Even his spontaneity feels rehearsed, a learned rhythm meant to appear effortless. In social life, spontaneity is often another script, the illusion of freedom framed by fear of rejection. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." To act freely, the mind must first be free from illusion. True spontaneity arises not from impulse, but from integrity, from a self so aligned with reason that every act flows naturally from it. The man begins to see that the most authentic gesture is the one born of calm reflection, not chaos. Stoic spontaneity is deliberate, peaceful, and unperformed. Chapter 7. The Solitude of Integrity. In solitude, he discovers the rarest form of honesty. When the noise fades, the masks slip, and the performance halts. What remains is what is true. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Integrity begins where audience ends. In solitude, he practices virtue not for recognition, but for alignment with the rational order. Each act of inner correction becomes a quiet rebellion against falseness. He learns that solitude is not isolation, but purification, the place where self and soul finally meet. Chapter 8. The Courage to be Seen. To live authentically is to risk being seen. Exposure invites judgment, misunderstanding, and rejection, yet it is the only path to truth. Marcus Aurelius reminds him, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." He learns that courage is not loud, it is quiet consistency. To be visible and still aligned with virtue is to be truly free. The world may misunderstand him, but the soul that acts in accordance with reason remains unshaken. He no longer performs to please. He acts to be whole. Chapter 9. Harmony between self and nature. Authenticity blossoms when one lives in harmony with nature. Marcus Aurelius teaches, "Adapt yourself to the life you have been given. Meet each circumstance with virtue." The man realizes that the true self is not hidden within, but expressed through alignment with reason and nature's order. When thought, word, and action harmonize, performance dissolves. He becomes like the river, flowing, adaptable, unwavering in direction. Peace is no longer sought. It is lived. Chapter 10. The Freedom of Detachment. Freedom begins when he releases the need to be seen, understood, or admired. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The man no longer performs for the crowd. He acts, speaks, and lives from inner governance, not external pressure. Detachment is not indifference but clarity, the understanding that his worth lies in his will, not his witness. In this freedom, he moves quietly through the world, untouched by praise or blame. Chapter 11. Becoming whole. The performance fades. He no longer seeks to prove his existence, he simply lives it. Every action, every silence becomes an expression of unity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Through struggle he found coherence. Through masks he found truth. The self and the performance are no longer opposed. They have merged into one rhythm, reason, virtue, and peace intertwined. He stands whole at last, not an actor, but a presence,